Welcome to T.D.T Talk, where we tell you
the damn truth.
Welcome to the truth, where the truth don't lie.
Hey, what it is, co-host?
What it do, co-host? Hello. Man, hello. Hell to the low.
Yes, we are back. We are back with another episode of T.D.T Talk. So come on in the room, y'all. Let us know who we have with us. We appreciate and love y'all so much.
So much.
Co-host, you had birthday shenanigans last week. How was it?
Girl, first of all, people, I'm really glad that we're having this financial group discussion because liquor and debit and credit cards and cash do not make for it made for a very wonderful time. I got a lot of stuff for the house. I was tipsy the majority of the time. So my kidneys are recovering, but if you guys send positive energy and prayers my way, in a 25-cent donation, my kidneys too will have a fighting chance.
I'm gonna need you to hydrate all week. Well, I hope you hydrated all week because that was last week.
Y'all, I normally have me a good drink in my cup. Today this is sponsored by water, H2Izzo. It helps your skin look radiant, and it's beautiful, y'all. I can't fucking drink no more.
That's real bad when it's a whole week later and you still drinking water. Amen.
I need it. My kidneys.
Thank you. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing started because it's like 10:05. So welcome to T.D.T Talk, where we tell you
the financial truth, Lord, the truth.
So we are on part 2. So me and Carl, we are here for the kicks and the giggles, and we do the cut up like week before last show. That was a good one. If y'all missed it, Simba versus Mufasa mindset, you need to go listen to it.
Yeah.
But we always want to make sure that we are dropping some type of jewels and bringing you information that is useful. So financial planning, how to get your money right. So you want to get your mind right, your whole mind, body, spirit, but you have to get your financial situation in order as well. So tonight we have a very special guest with us. We're not sharing anything, so I don't think we need any disclaimers. I think we're all good there.
We're good.
We're just going to go right into this. So our guest tonight is a very good friend of mine. His name is Mr. Jerry Lloyd. He is the motivational lifestyle success coach. He is my financial planner. I actually need to get on his books, like for real. So we can, get some things popping here on my end. But he is an amazing man. He is so knowledgeable in the area of financial literacy. So I cannot wait to are we ready to bring him on?
I'm ready.
Look, anybody that can help my credit score jump like 200-300 points from just a couple of the tips, you guys are about to be blessed tonight. So,
all right.
Hello. It's such a pleasure being with you guys tonight.
Hello, Mr. Lloyd. Thank you for being with us so patiently tonight. We appreciate you.
Well, I gotta love you because I'm missing my Carolina game for this.
Okay, go ahead.
And we thank you, and our viewers in future, past, and present, they will thank you as well.
Oh, yes. I truly believe that this is very important. And we do need to get our financial affairs in order, especially with going through the times that we are now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. All right, Sharon, start us off, or you want me to start us off? Let me know.
I'm gonna start it off because I'm gonna switch up the questions. I want Mr. Lloyd to tell us a little bit about himself. So, what do you do as a motivational motivational lifestyle success coach? Because it's all written on your shirt, and I could have just read it there. But tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, I've coached all my life. I started out in sports. Then I realized that I had a natural gift for coaching, but it wasn't just based around sports. Sometimes we have things that are talents, abilities, and we have things that we learn from going to school. But then there are God-given gifts to where we are blessed with something just totally natural that we didn't earn or learn anything about it. So when I realized, I've got past the stage of coaching young people, then I noticed that young men were drawn to me. And when I spoke, they listened. So then it got me into where I grew up poor, So I had to learn, if I wanted something different in life, I had to change up how I did things and do something different to get the things that I didn't see as a child.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. And
So,
we all know about being poor.
Yep. And it's mindset. It's all mental. Because one of the things that I learned is, when you grow up poor, you believe that that's how it's supposed to be. There is no other options. But the reality is we all get the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between the rich and the poor is what they do with those 24 hours. So if you're going to spend the majority of your life clocking in and out of a job and expecting to be a multimillionaire, it's not going to happen. But we can't all start out business owners. Let's just agree to that. But while you are working your job, you have to make certain sacrifices. You're going to have to pitch pennies. You're going to have to lose some sleep. And you're going to have to build something up over here that allows you to be able to walk away from that full-time job once you have accumulated enough income to replace that job business. Because the key thing to always realize, working a job, you are taxed at the 24% to 36% tax rate. When we have a business, we have the ability to control what we pay in taxes.
Amen.
Wait, hold on. Hold the hell on. If you can repeat that, well, it's good wisdom when it touched your ancestral soul. So if you could rewind that last tidbit one more time for the people in the back.
Okay, let me go over my disclaimer. And all information given in this presentation is for educational and informational purposes only. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a certified personal accountant. I'm not a financial advisor, English major, nor mathematician. So I'm going to need you to remember the letters from A to Z, the numbers from 1 to 100, and any grammatical and mathematical errors, I need you to charge it to my head and not my heart. But the ability to not pay excess taxes is in owning your own business, because as a check that's written to you, you are taxed between 24 to 36% taxes. So you automatic, and they don't even trust you to pay it on your own. They take that out before you get your check. So now just imagine if you took that money and invested it or done something else with it to bring you in an extra income. Now, most people don't have the mindset to do that, but just imagine if you invested in Bitcoin or you invested in these other things that allowed you to create another income stream that you didn't have to work for. Because the key is passive income. Now, everybody's not going to be business smarts and be able to do all these other things, but when you look at people like Elon Musk, they hire intelligent people to do the work for them. Our problem is we give away our ideas.
That part.
We give it away. We don't want to make the sacrifices, or we want to trust a week-to-week paycheck.
So let me ask you this. It's going off topic with the
Go
thing.
ahead.
So you said that we have that blind faith. We have that blind, cognizant faith in the mundanes of paycheck to paycheck.
Yes.
Do you have any speculations as to why we are conditioned to believe that that's okay?
Ooh. Now you hit the nail on the head. Let's think about this for a second. We spend 13 years in school. You go to school. They ring a bell for you to go to class. They line you up in rows. You ask for permission to do everything. Think about what that sounds like to you in the real world. It's an
job.
It's the job. So they train you to mentally think when you leave school, you've got to go find a job somewhere else. And here's the other mindset trick. We automatically think that we don't qualify or won't get the six-figure jobs. so we don't apply for.
Mm-hmm.
How many six-figure jobs did y'all apply for?
Like this week?
In your
'Cause
lifetime?
Oh, okay. Because this week I've applied for a few.
In my lifetime, one, yeah. Mm-hmm.
In my lifetime.
Right. And you don't think about those things until you're later on at the end of your life. You know, we're on the backside of this thing now. Why didn't we understand and know these things before? We weren't taught it. We can't automatically just jump out and do something that we're not taught. And we're talking about financial education and credit. Now, this is one of the things that blew my mind. When I was a child, my mom, because you know, once you hit 16, they're sending credit card offers in the mail. My mom said credit cards are of the devil. She said she was throwing them away. They were going in the trash. Graduated, got out of school, was ready to get my own place. Went and filled out my application. Just knew I was gonna get it. Had a decent paying job. First thing they said is you are not eligible. Huh? Your income is okay, but you don't have any credit. So now their advice to me was, hey, just go to a jewelry store or something, take out a Reese credit card, and you know, start you some credit, come back and see us in 3 months after you make the payment. Now, being that I didn't have any experience with credit cards or anything else, what do you think I did with that credit card?
Went crazy.
I maxed it out.
Good.
Lost the necklace. Then I brought with it and other stuff. And, you know, once you lose things, ain't nobody trying to make that payment no more. I got my apartment now. I got my apartment. But I messed up my credit.
And that's the typical thing that you see. We've done a lot of shows where we talk about how we were raised. And one thing that you had mentioned before is we were not raised to be financially savvy. We were raised to survive from paycheck to paycheck, but not how to establish a residual income for our future.
Bingo. Where do they teach that at?
Not at school.
No, they don't teach it in college either.
Yeah, I know.
The only thing they taught me was how to write a check.
They
taught us how to balance.
Yes, nicely. Cursive lets the banks know that you got some intelligence. That cursive. That's how they taught me.
But they didn't teach us anything about finance. See, we are misconstrued to think that that's financial teaching. Okay, let me blow your mind real quick. We always in school, well, I know I did. Let me not assume that you did, but I wondered how all the white kids were coming with brand new cars and how they were driving and doing all this stuff. I was like, what in the world? You know, what did their parents do? Yeah, they had decent jobs. My father had a decent job. But his parents had something that my parents didn't. That was good credit. Okay. But guess what they do with their good credit? They add their children to it. The child gets their entire credit history.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that is the one thing that I wish my parents would have done, because my parents did have good credit. I drove to my senior prom in 1993. I drove a brand new 2-day-old, fresh off the lot, 93 Chrysler New Yorker. Why my parents did not put me on their credit?
They didn't know how.
It would have said because they did not know exactly. They did not even learn.
Right. They can't teach you something that they didn't learn themselves.
They were simply doing the best that they could do
with what they knew.
Based on what they knew. Yeah.
Now, if I'd have went by my mom's teaching with credit cards of the devil and this, that, and the third, you know, and then I actually experienced it, messing up my credit. So, you know, I'm like, wait, maybe mama was right. But then when you learn better, you do better.
Absolutely.
That part.
So one of the keys to that, how they pass that on, is you add your children as authorized users to your credit, card. Okay. Not only do they inherit your credit, your longevity of credit history, and they just started with credit, but they get to enjoy all the benefits that you have. But now, I didn't say you had to give them the card.
Right.
The card comes back in your name to your address. When that card comes back, guess what I do? It's cut up. Well, I've got my sons and my daughters in my safe, 2 of them, but the one that has the big higher limit, I cut that one up because I don't want no mishaps with that one.
Because the mishap gives you 5 to 10, especially if you mess up some good credit.
But now the other thing, the other side of that coin is if they have bad credit or they're misusing that card, it's going to trickle down too.
Yeah.
And I think that you got some questions about that we'll get into about that later.
Yeah. So Sharon, come on, let's jumpstart some of these questions because I need to know so I can rewind it back.
I think that leads us into our first question. So how much credit is too much credit? Because you spoke about going to get, now what I'm mad about is that they advised you to go get a Reed's credit card. Why they send a black man to the jewelry store? I mean, that's what they had to do. What was that about?
Because that's where I'm going to run to quickest.
I mean, come on, look at how many rap songs.
Yeah, that's what I see on TV every day.
Yeah. What did they say? Rob the jewelry store?
Here's the thing. They give you credit just like that.
Lickety split. That they do.
What was the question again?
The question was, and I like Reed's jewelry just so anybody who want to know, I need some more studs. Diamond studs, that is. How much credit is too much credit?
Okay, when we're talking about credit and how much credit is too much credit, there's no such thing as too much credit. Okay. The problem with our people is they want to borrow money when they don't need it. I mean, when they need it. When they need it. We don't need to borrow money when we need it. We need to learn how to borrow money when we don't need it. So therefore, we can pay it back faster, more efficient, and not paying all the interest. Because if you make extra payments to the principal, you don't end up paying that much for that amount of money. But we have been conditioned to only want to go borrow money when we need it, and that's usually when we're in a dire situation. We've made some mistakes, and then guess what the bank does? They say, "Oh, well, you don't have any credit history, so even if you're asking me for 20,000, I can loan you 5. 5 is not going to help me. That's just going to help me get in more trouble because it's not going to fix my situation." Make sense?
True.
It
Makes
does.
sense.
It does. So if you have like a whole bunch of store credit cards, that's okay.
Okay. What we have to learn how to do is purchase cards or apply for cards that fit our lifestyle. Okay. One of the things that I teach my clients in credit repair to do is before you jump out there and get credit card, you cannot spend money that you don't have. That a credit card is not I just go buy everything I want. What I condition my clients to do, so for every bill that you have that you're going to pay with cash anyway, I want you to get a credit card for that and put that bill on that credit card. So therefore, you're going to turn around within 2 weeks after as soon as it shows up on the statement, pay it off. That way you're not paying any interest on it. So you're exchanging cash for credit. And you're also building a history that you pay your bills on time.
Okay.
So when we're talking about how much credit is too much credit, there's no such thing. You really want all the credit that you can possibly get. But we're going into another question that you have when we start talking about length of credit history, because that's the tricky part that they get you with, because credit has 5 categories. Okay. The last 3 categories are strategic. They're very strategic because most of us do not have parents that pass us their credit history. And the way length of history works is you have, let's say you have five lines of credit. This one's 1 year, that one's 3 years, that one's 4 years, that one's 6 years, that one's 7. Those 5 are divided by 5, and that's your length of history. They don't add together.
What?
You follow what I'm saying? So when you get a new card, it tampers into your credit history.
Son of a you.
Yes.
Oh, that is terrible.
Yeah.
This
system's not designed for us.
No, not at all. So you sitting here, if you have your credit history for 7 years, and then you get a couple of new cards, those couple of new cards are going to, because
they're 0. You have no history. You have no length of history.
That is
so okay. Hold on, because we had another question that lined up, but damn that. So
No,
look,
that is the next question.
okay, because what if you got a credit card, right?
Uh-huh.
And you be making your payments, it's looking real pretty, pay 5 cents, $2.50 over the original monthly
There
payment.
you go. That's key.
And
You're not
and
paying
then,
just minimum payment. You've got to pay something over. The system is not able to see, well, it sees it, but it doesn't count against you that if you're paying just the minimum payment, that's really a red flag in the system. Make sense?
okay.
But when you're paying that 50 cent or that dollar more than the original payment, all it shows is you're paying more than your original payment.
Huh. Okay. So now when they increase our credit loan, because I'm not the one for a bunch of credit cards. I got my one card that's hidden.
Why not?
Oh, so I'm one of those Black people that if I want it, I got it. And if I got the credit, that means I got it because I got the money to pay for it. So I don't even like to tempt myself. I have just enough cards to live my life comfortably.
How close are you and Sharon?
We close.
Okay, what I'm gonna need you to do is apply for that card, put it in an envelope, and give it to her.
Mm-hmm.
Because revolving credit is what's going to boost your score. You only need one installment account, and you don't even necessarily need, but then there's 3 stages of credit. There's a mortgage account, there's an installment account, and then there are revolving accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they tell you a minimum of 3, okay?
Okay.
But I teach my clients, let's do 6.
Okay.
Because when I have to go apply for something new, I don't need that resetting me to 0. We're talking about the law of large numbers. So if I've got all 10-year history cards, when I go to apply for something new, it's not going to kill me. But if you only got one, guess what happens?
It's going to start you back over at 1. Well, 0. Okay.
Well, not necessarily at 0. It's going to be that divided by 2.
It's going to cut
the number of years divided by 2. So you cut it in half.
Yeah, your 10 goes.
So that'd be looking like you got baby credit.
Now I get it.
And that's 85% of your. That's 85 points in your score. Most people don't even know what a perfect credit score is. I'm here to tell you that they have different scoring systems, but the base system that most financial institutions go by is an 850. That's your top score, and then you have 5 categories that go into that gives you the total number.
Mm-hmm.
I need that 850
credit to debt ratio, which means, and then there's your payment history, there's your length of credit history, there's your credit mix, and then there's also, I'm drawing a blank here. Let me see.
See, I know about that debt to income ratio because, baby, I'll be keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, and that's very important. I'll remember that other one in just a minute. But like I said, it's 5 categories. And like I said, the last 3 are strategic. So if you don't know how to float that into your best benefit, you end up in trouble. So everybody needs to have a stable credit history because and all credit scores are not equal. I can have a 640 score and somebody can have a 750, but because of your income, that's going to separate you from the other. But then for me, my score is always going to fluctuate from 640 to 750 and above. Okay. And that's because each quarter I maximize my credit history to pull that money to invest in assets. So now to go back to your question, Sharon, how much credit is too much credit? It's based on your knowledge and wisdom of understanding assets and liabilities. Yes. If I'm going out here buying up a whole bunch of liabilities, I don't need credit because all I'm going to do eventually is put myself in so much debt that I'm an accident waiting to happen when my job calls in and says, hey, I'm going to have to lay you off.
Okay.
I tell you, I hope y'all got y'all notebooks out, taking some
and
notes.
If not, you better rewind it.
I straight got my pen and notebook.
So, go ahead, Sharon.
No, I was going to say you completely answered that second question. And
Sure did.
And I think some of the third one. Where we at, Carl?
So mine was when we were talking about the tips to help someone with high debt and low income. So when we were talking about that income to debt ratio, that's a real big thing that a lot of people don't understand as
45%
why
of your
they're
score.
being declined for credit because your credit is showing, baby, your McDonald's paycheck cannot suffice your $1 million dream.
There
So,
you go.
can you give a better example of how someone can increase that debt to income ratio?
Okay. Well, first of all, I have 10 laws if you do not have $10,000 in the bank account. Okay. One is you have to respect your money. The difference between the wealthy and the poor is that the poor see money as a way to changing. The poor see money as a way of exchanging time for money, while the wealthy use money as a tool to create unlimited opportunity to create multiple streams of income. Okay.
Okay.
You got to respect your health. If you don't have health, then you're just an accident waiting to happen where you're going to be in a situation, and I experienced it myself when I had neck surgery. I was out of work for 6 months. Now, how many people can actually still afford their mortgage? You know, you need 2 incomes almost in a house right now to survive. So if you're not taking care of your health, eating healthy and being responsible for things like that, you're an accident waiting to happen. Now, rule 3 is don't go out and buy a new car unless you absolutely have to. You do not want to splurge on, and rule number 4, you don't want to splurge on anything. You've got to be very conservative. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, look, you only live once. Okay. No, you live multiple times. You live each and every day. You cannot spend next year's income today.
Okay.
It's never going to work. You know, rule 5, don't carry balances on your credit cards. We just talked about that. What you want to do is make sure that you pay that balance off every 25 days. You'll never pay interest on it, but you're still building credit history. 6, which is hard, and I experienced this today with one of my children. Do not ever co-sign for anyone. Send them to me to get their credit straight. Everybody has the best of intentions when they need something. But the first time something happens, if they didn't protect their credit, how are they going to protect yours?
See, then I'm gonna have to cut you. That was my golden rule. You do unto others as you allow them to do to you. I'm not co-signing shit. I'm not co-signing a thought, a place, an apartment. Hell, I won't co-sign for a cracker. So you might just be hungry. I can't do it. Okay, I'm sorry, but give us the rest of these
You're
laws.
good. You're good. You know, we all got things sitting around that we don't use anymore. You know, and it's just sitting there collecting dust. It's in the way. It's actually blocking your blessings. You can't make room for the new stuff because you got the old stuff going from one end of the closet to the other. 30,000 pair of shoes. You know, get rid of that stuff. Sell it. Take that extra money and invest it into something. And today's technology and everything that's going on, they make things so simple now for you. Start somewhere. Start small. You know, never invest more than what you can afford to lose, but start somewhere. You know, there's Acorn, there's Cash App. You know, when I first started investing with E-Trading them, I had to go learn all their jargon, stop loss clauses, and all that other stuff. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm staying away from trading. Then I was like, I'm never gonna get ahead if I don't. So then I learned, and then it came out. Why didn't they come out with Cash App and all this other stuff for me to buy stuff?
Right.
It's just simple. You just click the button. This is how much I want to spend, and you ain't even got to buy whole amounts of stock anymore. You buy fractions, just like you do with Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
We have to learn how to look for additional income. Sometimes it's really about people are about $500 away from being able to continue keeping their mortgage. That's it. Just $500 on the national rate. So if you can learn how to make 500, you'll learn how to make 1,000. And then you don't just stop, then you just keep going. And eventually those things will replace your job income to where what we have to learn how to do is add our skill sets. These are the learned behaviors from the jobs that we've been on. add them to our talents and abilities. Now, talents and abilities are those things that you may not necessarily have the physical, like Michael Jordan can't go out and play in the NBA today. You follow what I'm saying? So when you add your skill sets to your talents and abilities, but then you multiply them by your God-given gift,
it'll be good.
you're unstoppable.
So
But
now let
most
me
people
ask
don't know
you.
how to do that.
So you said gaining another source of income. And you know, the panoramic has really taught us a lot about some of our gifts. You know, you had to learn how to be alone during COVID-19 and her cousins. Now, I'm going to ask the question a lot of people would want to ask and just scared to ask. So OnlyFans, Demon Time, these are some new apps that people are utilizing to make residual income. Can that affect you in the long run?
Wait, anything is risk when you're investing into anything. You know, that's not my area of expertise. That's not something that I would invest in because, you know, that's just not me. I don't know enough about it. Before I go out and invest into anything, I do some research. And then not only do I do research, I call up my partners and say, hey, what do you think about this? Can you give me some insight? Because I don't need to spend the 10 years that he learned how to do that when all I got to do is pick up the phone and call him. That's where they tell you that your net worth is your net work. And that's how that works when you put it to work.
Okay, that was a whole gem. I'm going to use this when we run that back. That was beautiful. But I heard you say two key things. And we say that here on T.D.T. all the damn time, people. Research.
Yes.
Reading is fundamental and research is crucial.
Google gives you so much information. You know, you got to go and check, you know, the source that gave the information. But it's just so much right there in the palm of your hand. You don't need to go take a 6 to 8 month class like we used to learn how to do something. Yes.
Okay, I like that. Sherry, you got the next question, girl. This is good.
Was that all of your laws?
Oh, no. Number 9 was no new electronics.
Ooh, hold on.
Will break our leg to go out there and buy the new iPhone.
Okay, wait, hold on. See, because I feel like you're coming for me, and I just bought a new phone.
No. I got it too.
Okay.
But
so now, what if I, you know, because I don't get what I can't afford, you know, but
can you buy it twice? Can you buy it twice?
Yeah.
Okay, if you buy it twice, you afford it. You know,
okay, yeah, because I bought it twice. I bought one and I bought my wife one. So we bought it twice.
Gotcha.
But is it okay to set goals? You said don't live under the notion of YOLO. You only live once. Live under the guidance of what you can do and accomplish within that day. So if we set goals like every 4 years, I'm going to treat myself to a new phone because I'll keep this phone until I can barely press the damn end button. But is that a reasonable method to madness? Because I love electronics.
Well, to each his own. But here's my philosophy. If I want something that's going to be that expensive, I've got to find somebody else to pay for it. And what I mean by that is, if I want a new vehicle, I've got to create a business that's going to pay for that vehicle. That's just where I'm at now. Because once you've spent that money, you can't get it back. Now, Apple, I love Apple. I've got Apple products. I got a MacBook and all that. But I also own Apple stock. So if I believe in it enough to buy it, why not own a piece of the company?
That's beautiful. I need to get into Samsung because Apple is the devil. But definitely for Samsung. So I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna buy me some stock.
Yeah, because you're paying yourself. That makes so much sense.
Yeah. That does. I like that. That was nice. That was nice. Okay. So what's number 10?
Rule number 10. $10,000 is not your goal.
You damn right about that.
Once you hit 10, then you want to figure out how to do 20, then 60,000, then 100,000. You know, any business that I start or produce, it's got to make me $1 million within 3 years. Because if it can't make me $1 million in 3 years, I'm spinning my wheels for nothing. I had to shut down, as Sharon knows, a lawn care service because it was taking so much of my time, and the things that I really was able to make money in, I didn't have the time to do. And you can't sit on. I'm out here on a mower making $45 for every 35 minutes on a yard, and then I gotta drive to the other one, so I can't count the time into that. But I'm having to tell somebody that's willing to pay me $789 for credit repair, hey, hold, I'll get back to you.
Makes sense. So know where your revenue is coming from and know your worth within that revenue.
Yeah, know your worth.
Yeah.
People use that word so freely, but don't really understand the concept.
That part.
Because if you ask a person, says, I know my worth, what's your worth? They'll pause. Most people will go back mentally and think about the last job that they had that paid them the best money, or it's within $1 or $2 of their best income. That's not your worth. That's a job description. That's what they said that they will pay you on that job to do this work.
Underpaid.
That's worth.
Yeah.
Underpaid, shortchanged, and whipped like a damn mule. You right. Okay. I like those 10 rules. That's nice.
Yes.
The math is real simple.
So it's $1 million.
Okay. You see that? I have to create a product or a service, and it's got the numbers here of how many people or how much of a product, and they can be reversed in either line of what I got to do to get to my goal of $1 million. Because now when we're sitting here worried about $10,000 here, and we're talking about payroll there in the third, but the reality is a lot of those other obstacles go away when you're grossing $1 million. Right. I can figure out how to cut that in half and pay an entire staff and waste that money, $500,000, because just look at it. Most of us are not making 6-figure salaries. How many employees can I pay $500,000 and then take the other $500,000 and keep building other businesses? Because my end game is real estate. They're not making any more of it, and ain't nobody stopped producing babies yet. They ain't figured that one out. So I need to find somewhere to put everybody's babies.
Okay. So while you find the location, me and Sharon is gonna help these parents mentally, because these new generations of children is a new breed of some shit. Lord, them is some.
See, now you just said a mouthful, because the mindset is everything. If you don't change your mindset, I don't care what it is. You're not going to make the sacrifices. You're not going to set the goals. You're not going to do anything except what you've been programmed to do since kindergarten. So the mind is the most important part of this, because when things get rough, if you can't weather the storm, you're going to revert back to your old habits. You've got to be able to mentally create some new habits that are going to benefit you better in your future. Because you may not see the results right now, but I can tell you, working 20 years versus sacrificing 5 years of $50 a week, living off of, the company, driving the company truck and all those other things. And we have to be so careful about letting people know how well we're doing. You'd be surprised how many people will not come do business with you if they think you're doing a whole lot better than they are. That's our people.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we talk about that often, and I'll be real quick. Consider me Men in Black, baby. I'm moving in silence. Guards against haters and extraterrestrial violence. I'll be damned. You ain't gonna hinder my blessing. Catch me when I'm on the Forbes Find Black ass men making $700,000 that's married.
That is never
right there.
That's never gonna come.
That's gonna be mine. It's gonna be mine.
If you want in an LLC, S Corp, trust, those are the last names that I want. Because those live beyond me.
Yeah.
Those are things that I can set up that even if my kids never come to work in the business, because None of my kids, I've offered the opportunity on several times. They won't work in any of my business. They'll come to get a quick paycheck. But if I set these things up correctly, it'll hire people that will continue to work the job, and it will cut them a check. Now, I said cut them a check. I didn't say make them wealthy, because them Negroes got to work too. But I'll make sure that they always got a roof over their head, and the pay meets when we have fluctuations in the market. You follow what I'm saying? But we have the ability. We say, well, I'm not leaving nobody nothing. You know, you hear Warren Buffett and them saying they ain't leaving the kids nothing. Yeah. But they still gonna take care of them. Don't get misconstrued with that. They'll be taken care of, but they're not going to allow them to live a lavish lifestyle for things they didn't work for, because they won't appreciate it. Because I guarantee you, your kids will know how to spend your life insurance money.
Oh yeah,
quickly. And this is why I got one, and I be having to watch him, because I feel like he'll try to take me out first, not his mama. He'll come for me first. So I got to make sure my life insurance is locked.
Leave my baby alone.
Locked and stocked.
That perfectly leads us into our last question. So what can we do now to prepare us for our life expenses when we get older? So when we retire, what can we do now?
We have to start building assets and start limiting our liabilities.
Tyrone. Who knows Tyrone?
I don't know who a Tyrone is, but I'm here for the shits and giggles as we are engaging in real. I'm so sorry to stop you, Mr. Jerry. Hold on one moment.
Sorry. He gone
people,
now.
I understand that, but just in case he just ever want to pop back in, sir, please never get it misconstrued or get it fucked up. I can be educated and ghetto in the same damn sentence. Do not mistake my ebonics for my intelligence, because I will beat your ass and find a way out of that damn ticket. So before you come for me on our show, please try Jesus. Don't try me. But back to you, Mr. Jerry. I'm so sorry. Just had to give a commercial.
Oh, commercial break. Hey, I understand.
Commercial break.
Same way. But we have to learn how to build assets instead of liabilities. And what I mean by that, there's a such thing as called good debt and bad debt. When you go out there and you buy things that are not going to appreciate in any way, they're only going to depreciate every year. That's bad debt. Those are liabilities. So we really have to research and get into investing in things that's going to give us some passive income. Because if we have to work for every dime we get, what happens when you get sick?
You're going to lose that money.
Where's it?
There's no residual income.
It's not going to come from anywhere. You're sick, so you can't work.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're sitting back working, trying to live off of a third of an income because you're waiting on, hopefully, you're 65 to collect some Social Security. I'm not even counting on them to have it there for me. But we have to invest in ourselves. We have to believe in self and trust that we can gamble now on certain things for our future. You got to invest. We can't just sit back and stick our head in the ground, and then wait until Bitcoin and all those things are topped out. And they say, oh, I'm going to get in it now.
Yeah.
It's a long time to get in it now, because when it goes down, you have nothing.
Okay. I like that. There's some wisdom.
You got to learn how to invest, people. And that's something you can help with, right?
Oh, yes. Skill sets plus your talents and ability times your gift. We have gone throughout life, our entire life, learning those things. But a lot of people don't really necessarily understand what their gift is just yet. Okay. That's a little challenging. But the technology, the apps, the things are already there. We just have to get with somebody to get pointed in the right direction to learn what that is. Because everything that you're doing now, like y'all hosting this show, you have had some practice in that along the way. You could have been student council president. You could have been, you could have been the class clown. You understand what I'm saying? That it. See, but why not get paid for that gift? People will pay for that gift. It's natural. But sometimes you got to do some of the things that you do really good, but you don't really care for. You know,
Mhm.
I had to cut that grass for a while now. You know,
Well, them
I
yards-
like the benefit of seeing it pristine and looking good at the end. But as I
Mhm.
got older, them rain days and that sun, I couldn't do it no more. When the pandemic hit, I flourished.
Mhm.
Everybody was sitting at home and they decided they needed to get their credit fixed.
Mhm.
Amen.
That was the
Boom.
perfect time. That panoramic really changed a lot of people's lives. God knows it helped me. It helped me. But the one thing that I really am liking from what you're saying, again, y'all, is knowing your worth, being able to gamble on yourself and walk in your calling. Know what you're able to do or the gifts that are God given and invest in yourself.
In
You'll
yourself.
never know your success until you fail. Because
Right.
hell, once you hit rock bottom, you only got one way to go. You can't get no lower than rock bottom. There's no possible way.
That's right.
So I really love that. That was really dope to keep mentioning throughout this. So that way, if we can do these positive affirmations, people, our listeners and viewers will understand sometimes it takes you to bet on yourself for your success or your breakthrough. If this don't sound like T.D. Jakes, hallelujah, I feel anointed. You know, it's the Lord. It's the Lord in
Glory
me.
be to God.
Hallelujah in the
Because it's
Honda.
all about him.
Tyrone.
To
It's
He
God.
all
tried
about
to he
him.
tried to take me out. Tyrone tried to take me off my throne and my pedestal, but ooh, it's the peasants. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sharon. It's the peasants. It's the peasants for me.
Yeah, so you have shared so much incredible stuff with us tonight. I just launched my private practice last week, and I'm now a PLLC. So when you said the LLCs, and those are the things that make future wealth or income for your family and for your kids, I never thought about it like that. So that was just a personal goal for me, but I haven't even thought about, I am going to hire people. This will be a legit whole business with employees.
Yes.
That will be
Yes.
able to continue on even without me. So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about this new tax bracket. I'm also excited about or the amount I'll be taxed at. I think that's what it
Yes,
is.
Lord.
I'm
I
also
can't wait.
excited about this card that's going to be my business card. I'm excited about so many things. So I got to get on your books so we can go to the next level because I'm in a different zone.
There are three main people that once you start a business, as you're growing, that you need to incorporate. You've got to find a mentor that's in that business that's going to shortcut your headaches.
Okay.
Because if you're trying to figure out everything on your own, you're going to take longer to get into position that you want. And the longer you take, the harder it is for you to stay in it. You'll want to revert back to that job of working with somebody else. Got to have a CPA.
Okay.
Can't work it without them. Soon as you can afford it, you got to put a lawyer on the books.
God know I need one. My mouth is way too reckless for me not to have. I'm gonna probably need 2 lawyers. One to help my lawyer get off because they help me get off. So I'm gonna get 2. I need 2 lawyers. Damn 2 phones. You're right about that.
Now there
Sharon,
are
we need
more
some
people that
lawyers.
you have to put in that team, but those are 3 key that you've got to have on board as soon as you can afford it.
All right.
Amen.
For it.
Amen.
All right. Look, not only are you my financial planner, but you know that you always speak to my spirit. You speak to my soul. The first time we met, you don't even remember a whole spiritual conversation that you had with me.
Wow.
But it was life-changing. It was amazing. It was exactly.
Well, God is in the mix. We don't need to know all the results.
Yeah.
That part.
I mean, and clearly it was him speaking through you, as I believe he is speaking through you tonight to our audience. So I hope everyone was as blessed as I to have you with us tonight.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was awesome.
But also, I just want to let you two know that your birthday twins.
Really?
Really?
17?
The 17th.
Stop playing. We St. Patrick's babies together.
We the Black Irish.
Next year we got to celebrate that one together a little bit. Then you can go back to the family.
Okay, I'm down. I'm gonna get you drunk. Your kidneys might fail, but you'll be able to be up on the 18th.
Okay, I'll work that out with you.
Okay, works for me. Nice. I only know 2 men now ever with the same birthday as me. That is awesome. Y'all did not see that.
About it all the time. You green leprechaun.
Yep.
Like
And I be having warning signs. Pinch me if you want to. This is my day.
Oh, I refuse to wear green on my birthday.
Me
and I wish
too.
somebody would pinch me.
You pinch me if you want to.
Behind bars together.
I'm gonna be behind bars. They're gonna be picking their thoughts up off their pockets because it's
Look, let me find out, Mr. Lloyd, that you are equally as crazy as Carl. Now, I don't know that side.
I ain't been saved all my life.
I'm 95% flesh. Yes, the Lord is working on the rest.
Rise up from time to time. You know, I got 3 rules. You don't mess up my money, my time, or my family.
Mm-hmm.
When you do all 3, you get both barrels.
Oh my God.
He's just gonna have to forgive me all over again.
Oh. It said take him to the king, keep him at the cross, and I will be there daily. I got a reservation. Yeah, try Jesus. Don't try me. Yes.
Hey, Yusuf. Yes, you are very welcome. So thank you for tuning in with us tonight.
Yes, this was awesome.
What you got? What's your closing thoughts? I done gave mine.
I really feel like this be my Maury Povich. I got to put my hands together because it's going to be deep. My closing thoughts is when we know better, we can do better. Yeah. And knowing that a lot of us have not had the opportunity to gain wisdom or clarity concerning our finances, taking moments like these where you can gain those gems, those knowledges that you can use in the here and now to bless your future, to be successful, we need to focus on that. We need to be able to forgive ourselves for past financial mistakes because we're human. We're not God. We don't got powers. We got to learn how to forgive ourselves and bounce back. We as a culture tend to gravitate towards the negativity, be it financially, be it mentally, be it physically, and we will harbor so much resentment and animosity in that moment that we block our own blessing for any success for the future. So my gem, research, know what you want, and take a gamble on yourself because the world ain't going to do it for you. So that's what I got.
Look, co-host, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you end the show.
That part,
right? Y'all, look, we appreciate y'all. Carl, we did it again. So we'll see y'all in 2 more weeks. I don't know what the show's going to be about at this point, but we'll probably be here for the shits and giggles.
It's going to be our unpopular opinion. Y'all going to hate me.
Unpopular opinions.
Yes.
Right. Well, thank y'all for coming out.
Peace.
Welcome to the truth, where the truth don't lie. 3 T's, no lie.
Thank you. Tune in next week. Same black channel, same black host, and we'll holler at you at the same black time. Bye.
Right.